through all there,
She said, hey, we have this class.
you know?
Blah, blah, blah. How many people can we get? How
Probably,
many
yeah,
people should we
there.
rent out for? No.
Don't they have a pond or two out there?
She was like, just do it out. She didn't say, like, if you wanted it, she just said, how many can you use? I was like, lady, come on. 0. I was like, you know, I know, right? It was funny. You could tell she was young, too.
Good. Perfect.
Oh, before I got to you, I know that's right.
It's almost
That,
showtime.
that should shout.
Get ready to rumble.
I miss watching UFC fights. I
Right.
used to love those. My wife is still dying. She really wants to go to Vegas and see a UFC fight.
Oh, really?
That's on her bucket list.
Bears played well yesterday.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to go to tournaments in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, more martial arts tournaments, point sparring and stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun. A lot of stress, a lot of pain and bruises and bloody noses.
I'm with you. I'm good with watching, but beyond that, I don't really need to be up in there. I tap out. I don't, that's not an itch I have to scratch.
There we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the regular City Council meeting of October 23rd, 2023 to order. A roll call, please.
Sasada.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Smith. Here. Perkins.
Here.
McAdams.
Here.
Verbic.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Mayor Barnes.
Here.
8 present.
Awesome. And then I would like to welcome Cub Scout Pack 104. They are going to all come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. So Scouts, you want to come on up? You guys, you all did an amazing job on that. Would you mind if we came down and took a picture with you guys and gals? Yeah? All right, we'd love to do that. So you all, why don't you all come forward and then we'll stand behind you because some of us are a little taller than you all. Not much. Yeah, this will be perfect. We'll let this guy through there, yeah. Let's see his face. All right, we're all good? Awesome. All right, make sure you smile. All right, right here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Great job, Scouts. All right. Thanks again, you all.
Try and see how you've been messing with me all day. It's time to pay back.
So if you didn't notice, there was a female scout in the group. That's one of the coolest things I think Boy Scouts of America did, is they actually opened it up for girls and boys now to join Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. My daughter just missed it. She was really upset in it because my father's an Eagle Scout, I'm an Eagle Scout, my son's an Eagle Scout, and she wanted to be one too, but just missed that window. But it's really cool that Scouting of America has now opened up their ranks. All right, moving on to agenda item C, approval of the agenda. I would take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Sasada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
The agenda has been approved. Moving on to agenda item D, presentations, we have none. Agenda item E, public participation, we have none. Number F, or letter F, appointments. Number 1, appointment of Susan Hallman, Director of Financial Services, to the Foreign Fire Insurance Tax Board, the Fire Pension Board, and the Police Pension Board. Can I have a motion to approve that appointment?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Alderman McAdams, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
All right, that appointment has been approved. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to agenda item G, consent agenda. Number 1, minutes of the regular city council meeting of October 9th, 2023. Number 2, accounts payable and payroll through October 23rd, 2023, in the amount of $2,648,645.28. Number 3, Freedom of Information Act FOIA report, September 2023. And number 4, FY 2023 Human Services Funding third quarter report. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Perkins. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none. Oh, yes, go ahead.
I would like to abstain from this. My foundation is getting a little bit of a reward from this, so
You got it. No worries at all. Thank you for calling that out.
appreciate it.
Hearing no others, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
7 ayes.
The consent agenda has been approved. Then moving on to agenda item H, public hearings. I'm going to go ahead and call the public hearing regarding a proposed annexation agreement for property located at 2023 Sycamore Road, Robert Wessels, to order at 6:05. Is there any public comment? Any discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the hearing, noting the time of 6:05. All right. Moving on to agenda item H, or I, considerations, annual property tax levy in the city of DeKalb. City manager, this is exciting stuff.
Thank you. I have something to say about this one.
I bet.
And I think you expect it. So at this time of year, we take time, usually in one of the meetings in October and then into and through November, to look at the potential property tax for residents of the city of DeKalb and businesses. And every year, we try to be very transparent. There's a lot of detail here, a lot of background for people who are interested in the city's portion of the levy, but I have also tried to portray where we are with other taxing bodies, and it was not lost on me as I was writing this background that the mayor has convened all the other representatives of all the other taxing bodies twice, and we're going to be doing that again probably in November as the levy decisions are being made by all of our local taxing bodies, so we see where we end up. The charge to them has been very clear. What we're aiming to do is to get below $9 per 100 EAV, or 9% mark. We've been as high as 11.5% just 3-4 years ago. A lot has happened in those last 4 years. The city's property tax rate has dropped 30% in the last 4 years, and a good part of that has certainly been owing to the large investment that's been made in the southern part of our town by a number of, just a handful of corporate bodies that have brought not only a change to the landscape, but a change to the overall wealth of the community. It's been the most remarkable and fast turnarounds that we've had since, and I think this is undeniable, since the railroads invested in us in 1860, 1870. So, and I'm happy to say through this process, the city of DeKalb has tried to provide leadership, and the people sitting in front of me have provided leadership in trying to show that we can grow. We, the taxing bodies, should be the beneficiaries of this, but we also have to keep in mind what's our purpose, and our purpose is to serve the taxpayers, and they have been bearing a burden which is unreal, really, in northern Illinois. We looked 3 years ago at where we stood in relation to our competitors, basically competitive communities, mostly to the east, not just to the east, but also somewhat to the north. And On the average, they were around 9%, and we were, as I mentioned earlier, around 11.5%. So after you wade through all the charts and graphs here, it comes down to what do you want to do this year? And I think what you want to do, and the council's made this very clear, and the mayor certainly has, is to continue on this path. Right now, in 2023, well, let me back up. So you have to think of the tax year in terms of 1 year easing into another. So you vote the levy in the fall, and then it's in the spring that we find out exactly where the EAV was finally, after all appeals have been registered with the county and determined, and you sort of make a bet, and you should be conservative in this, and this body has, not all bodies have, so that the numerator, your levy, divided by that overall community wealth, in the spring shows what the rate's going to be, which is applied against every property in town. And when the property owner goes to their mailbox sometime in the first week of April usually, and they see that large notable envelope, they want to see that they're paying less in dollars. That levy conversation, that rate conversation, that EAV conversation doesn't mean anything. I look to the bottom line, and our tax bills show the previous year and also the current year, what's going to be owing in 2024, whether it's one payment or two payments. So what I've proposed here is a levy that will get us to a point where even with a very large equalization factor in DeKalb County, or in DeKalb Township, which is 9.53%.
Can we clarify that?
Yeah.
The 9.53% that just hit everyone's mailbox
Yes.
a few weeks ago was from the DeKalb Township Assessor's Office.
That's correct.
And that meant the value of our homes went up 9.53%.
Correct.
Okay.
So against
Wasn't
that,
us.
yeah, against that, we have to be very conservative, even though it's easy to see with your denominator growing as it has, and growing more this year. By the way, $170 million in new construction in the city of DeKalb, not just in the whole county, but in the city of DeKalb, estimated in 2023.
And just for us in layman's terms, that's $170 million more in value in our community in 1 year alone.
That's correct.
Staggering.
Yeah.
Thanks
We
for
didn't rehearse
clarification.
this, by the way. This is passion overflowing here.
Yes.
It's exciting, really. It's an exciting time to be living in this part of northern Illinois. And but that 170 million. So on an average, prior to this, the new growth might average, say, 20 to 30 million. That's a smattering of houses, some commercial activity, maybe a factory, maybe not. So this is where we are today. So with that enormous bump, what's proposed is a levy that will result in a rate decrease of over 9%. You have in front of you a further breakdown. It just wouldn't fit well in the background here. It just doesn't fit well on the page, but you can see if you look at that, and I'll just explain to the people in the audience and people looking in, that our rate should go down about 9.15%, 9.15%. And the actual dollars out of pocket, because of that 9.53% increase in the overall value, are going to be about the same as last year. We won't know until, it's usually March that we get a final calculation of our EAV from county offices, and that's something right now we can only guess at, and I'm guessing our EAVs are just under $1 billion. The actual number that I got from the assessment office at the county was $1.039 billion, but there's an abatable amount that we have to deduct from that. And so I'm guessing with a certain amount of maybe a few more appeals this year, that we're down to about $998 million. That's up, by the way, from $794 million. So
In 1 year.
yeah, in 1 year.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
So if the value of my home went up 9.53%, most likely my property taxes in a normal situation would have gone up, and I would have paid more money because of, that's a significant increase in the value of my home.
It is, it is.
And what you're saying is, what the city of DeKalb and the DeKalb Public Library have done is actually drop the rate far enough to compensate, not only for that 9.53%, but a few extra dollars less I'm gonna have to pay in my property taxes, supposedly, well, we gotta wait for the final numbers to come out, but you're a pretty conservative guy, that there's a high probability I'm actually gonna pay less dollars in property taxes
Even
next
though
year.
the value of your home went up 10%.
Yes. And last question, did the city of DeKalb's levy go up? Did we get more money too in the process?
We get money,
Hmm?
and it's more.
Yeah.
We put it, we're putting our money into our pensions,
Right,
state
but-
pensions.
But our levy went up, so
Yes, it
what you're
did.
telling me is, our levy, the dollars we got, so we have more in our budget because of all the unprecedented economic
see where you're
development going
going,
on. So we are benefiting as a
We
city
are.
from it.
Right.
But we're also able to lower the tax rate enough that the public gets the benefit from this unprecedented EAV as well.
That's,
That seems like really responsible government, and I know we're being sarcastic here, right? But this is such an important topic that this is what all government agencies, all taxing bodies in the city of DeKalb should be doing right now. Every levy can go up. Everyone can make more money, they can provide more services, and they can do more. We're asking every taxing body to do more with more at this point. But what we're doing right now is trying to show some leadership in the fact that we can also remember the taxpayer, our fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayer, and the taxpayer in the city of DeKalb will pay less dollars out of their wallet even though their home, their asset, the largest asset many people have, increased in value. That is crazy from the way I understood how government operated. That is probably the most responsible government I've seen. And this city council, that man right there, and the entire city staff have been a part of allowing us to do that. So kudos.
well, I think that goes, when you take an oath, you take an oath. I don't know if the word steward is in that oath, I don't think it is, but that's what it's all about. And I think stewardship is particularly where.
It's assumed.
Yeah, but you have to act on it, and I think
Yeah.
that's what this is all about. So this is just a consideration. Bring this back, then we get to do some action at the next meeting. The first meeting, we have a first reading. We take it on 2 readings. We also have a public hearing, and there will be a notice in the paper. It's called the black box. That's appropriate, because nobody else. It has big shocking numbers in it. And so the state statute defines what can go in that. You can't editorialize inside of it, it's just meat and potatoes. You do that, and then what we've done here in recent years is, outside of that, still complying with the state law, we buy a little extra space in the paper of local general distribution, and we explain what all this stuff is, the levies and rates and EAVs and all of that, so people can do their own calculating. And I also show what the, it's not in this, yeah, I guess it is in your background tonight too, to show you what happens to the local taxpayer after all this is distilled down, so. The imaginary local taxpayer, so. That's all I
Any
have.
Other comments, council? Questions for our city manager? Well, I think it'd be well worth a round of applause that we are witnessing a government agency that is reducing, being a contributor to reducing the property tax rate for everyone in the city of DeKalb. So council, I want to give you all a round of applause, and city staff for helping make this happen. So let's clap. I tell you, this is years in the making, and it's great to finally see it come to fruition. Couldn't be more excited about this. All right, moving on to resolutions. Number 1, Resolution 2023-095, amending Resolution 2023-067 to extend the deadlines for Northern Illinois University Foundation's option to enter into a redevelopment agreement for the development of the Northern Illinois University Center for Greek Life at West Hillcrest Drive and Black Hawk Road. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Alderman McAdams, seconded by Alderman Walker. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. As I say in the background, this grows out of the conversation we had at the last regular meeting. And this, I guess, puts a punctuation point on where we left the conversation with representatives from the NIU Foundation and Northern Illinois University. And in the background, you can see the bullet points that we memorialized in the attached resolution and also at what we discussed at the last regular meeting. So by the end of March 2024, it's agreed, if you approve this and if the NIU Foundation approves this, that the foundation will exercise this option by giving written notice to us. That's pretty easy. Enter into a purchase and sale agreement for the redevelopment of a defined portion of the city's property. The original pledge back in April when we opened the proposals, one was from DCCG, one from the foundation, was to purchase plus or minus 2 acres, you'll remember, and the offering price was $200,000. At this point, we don't know if they want a 1 1/4 acres or whatever. So in their background here and also in the agreement, so I was thinking, as I'm writing this up by my lonesome in an office, the fair thing would be whatever that is a pro rata share of that $200,000. If they offer $200,000 for 2 acres, then it's X for 1 1/2 or 1 1/4. That will be for you to judge, but we left it open, and obviously before a purchase or sale agreement is agreed, it's going to come before you. And if there was another number in there and you think, wait a minute, I don't see how that correlates, then you have the opportunity to massage it or turn it in whatever direction. So that's why it's left general like that. And finally, there'd have to be a plat of subdivision that defines this real property to be conveyed. And also, there would have to be, at the same time before the end of March, a conceptual building and site plan, and hopefully more than that in the way of delineating what's going to be there, so you get a chance before you settle on a price and settle on a sale to see you like it or don't you like it. So that's where we are.
Comments or questions, council? Alderman Verrick.
At what point should we include language if this project is to not come to fruition by December 31st, 2025, as to what happens with the land? Shouldn't that land come back to the city for what we have invested in it, then to redevelop it with whatever's possible from that point forward?
We can, so the purchase and sale agreement should cover that. What this is tonight is basically, here's a tablet, a couple of parameters for the further consideration, which is going to come back to you for you to determine the answer on. So we're taking baby steps here, but we don't have enough in the way of a defined project to know how far or fast to go from here. So they're asking for time. What's here proposed from the staff is an appreciation of their interest in stretching this a little bit.
But I think you've heard us talk multiple times about, we'd want some timelines
We do.
of execution.
We do.
And if you miss that, then there's maybe not penalties, well, it could be penalties, but it'd have to come back before us to deviate from that timeline. So I agree. We'll set up something in the purchase agreement that dictates that.
Great.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-095 passes.
Thank you.
Number 2, Resolution 2023-096, authorizing a Fund 400 Architectural Improvement Program, AIP, economic incentive for 1600 East Lincoln Highway in the amount of $13,935, proven winners, 815 Property Management. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McAdams, seconded by Alderman Verbic. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. In the last year, Proven Winners has made substantial investment in what many of who've been around here for a while knew as the old Farm and Fleet Building. It was remodeled substantially by a previous owner, and then it was purchased by Proven Winners, and they have added more features to, and will have other uses in the building, and so there's been substantial remodeling to do that. There are still some parts of what they'd like to do to spritz up the outside, also to add some attractive features inside, and including also some life safety things such as AED, addition of an AED toward the front of the building. This is not a big project. It's the end of the construction year, so this is something that would help them finish. They used to be in the TIF district, and after TIF 1 was terminated, and they were out of that. So a lot of this investment has been done just out of the resources available to proven winners, and so it's taken a little time to get here. We do have that program which we put in the budget a year ago to help not only on the East Lincoln Highway corridor, but also on the South 4th Street corridor, those areas that have been out of TIF. East Lincoln Highway more recently than South 4th. Pieces of South 4th used to be in TIF 2, which is long gone, 10 years ago. But anyway, little incentive here. It's that same format as the TIF AIP program. This is out of Fund 400, which is our general capital fund. And the ask was for $13,935, and this is about half, a little less than half of the projects that they have lined up. And in good faith, we at the staff level felt it was good to encourage them to keep going, which is what they're going to do. Brad Rubeck is here tonight to answer any questions you may have. But other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward, and we recommend your approval.
Council, questions, comments? Proven Winners has been a partner with the City of DeKalb when their office was based in Sycamore. All the planners that we have throughout our community, that was Proven Winners back in the day, that leaned in hard to help us with those, storage of those over the winter months, and then also they provided a lot of plants. They were the catalyst for that program back in the day, which was great. It's awesome now to have them in the City of DeKalb, and as well to see the amount of investment, and they've spent a lot of money continuing to invest in that particular property. So I think this is fantastic. It's nice that we can help make further improvements with them in a property in the City of DeKalb. All right, hearing no other questions or comments, roll call, please.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbeck.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Sisata.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-096 passes. Number 3, Resolution 2023-097, approving a full restaurant liquor license for Floga LLC, DBA The Flame, 209 East Lincoln Highway. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman McAdams. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. It looks like we're going to get a new restaurant in downtown, and we're excited about it. Fody Pappas is here tonight to represent the ownership. As the brief background shows, this is a project that's moving along pretty quickly, not surprising with Pappas Investments. And we're pleased about that. And the process is, twofold. We need a local license and a state license, and so that the local license is before you. It's a full restaurant license, and we recommend its approval.
Council, questions, comments? You got some big shoes to fill. Your father has created more successful restaurants than I can count.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do.
You want to come up to the mic real quick? Yeah. People at home can hear you.
Yeah, definitely, Mayor. I appreciate that, and we're really very much so looking forward to opening this up. I did grow up a little bit in the restaurant business, but this is the first time I get to showpiece really a lot of home-cooked meals that we've grown up on, and get to bring them to this county at a fair cost, allow families to be able to pile in, eat good food, have good cocktails, and really take a space now that's been vacant for quite some time and bring another twist of food to the downtown area. The downtown area now has a lot of different varieties of food, which is amazing, and I think it slowly brings DeKalb to a destination point for its downtown. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully the town loves and supports it.
I'm sure.
We're going full speed on menu, on the construction, and hope to be opened up soon.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Pappas. Appreciate it. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-097 passes. Thank you for your continued investment, Mr. Pappas, and don't feel like you have to stick around, but how about we give the man a round of applause? All right, agenda item number 4, Resolution 2023-098, authorizing an engineering services agreement with Baxter and Woodman to prepare a comprehensive strategic water model and water master plan assessment for the City of DeKalb's public water supply system in an amount not to exceed $154,800. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbeck, seconded by Alderman Perkins. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We were talking about stewardship earlier. I think Brian Favor brings a brand of stewardship to what he does on a daily basis in our water department and as part of our utility, our city utility. And it's, he not only manages the system on a day-to-day basis well, but he has a vision, and a vision that he's held to for decades has been to be ahead of the game and to be a marker for people who are looking for a solid, reliable source of potable water, whether for their own consumption or for business and industry. And as you know, the system is doing very well and has been providing very well for our newest entrants who are using, particularly in the industrial sector, a lot of our water. But as we look ahead with the rapid, what we talked about earlier this evening, the rapid growth, we want, unlike other utilities, we want to be ahead of the game, not flat-footed and playing from behind. So this is all a part of it. We have a master study which never anticipated the pace or the extent and scope of the growth that we have right now on the south side. There were hints of it, obviously, and that area had been partly zoned for what's happening, but not the scope that we're seeing. So the question, why do this now, I think answers itself. We are, as I mentioned, in pretty good shape, but we have to be concerned about the big three things. One is capacity. Do we have enough volume in our daily pumping? Do we have enough pressure? And that's partly a pressure of the elevated storage that partly a product of the elevated storage that we have. And then also, is it available at a decent price? And all those things together are what we need to look at and do a projection over the next 5, 10, 15 years. The company that did the last projection is a company that's worked with us in other respects for a couple decades. They're not the only one, but they're the ones who helped design and helped us get our arms around the treatment facilities that we have, which were a requirement of changing regulations and also changing elements in the water beneath the ground, whether it's shallow levels or deep levels. So Baxter and Woodman is that company. They have been invited to give us a price. In Brian's estimation, this is a fair price for the scope of what they're trying to do. It may take a year to year and a half to complete all this. There's going to be actual investigations and lots of discussion around this, but also included in this is going to be how we would upgrade the technology that helps us keep our water in proper storage and pumping when we need it, and also doing some off-peak pumping when the price is a little less overnight to try to keep our costs down, and then ultimately the storage, which is so very important. I mean, what we're probably looking at here in the nearer term, in the next, once the study is done, I don't want to prefigure the study, like we could I'll be wrong, but probably another well. Of the well treatment facility tower, well would be probably the least impactful in terms of finance to start. Or, you know, it's in that range, and also with the treatment facilities. But we, and interestingly, and I probably should shut up here, but I'll just say this much. It's interesting, because we've got the elevated storage, you know, we keep pressure, we try to keep it pretty constant. Other factors come into play there, the terrain, you know, the whether we're pumping uphill or downhill. And on the south side, pressure is right at that point where we really want to kick it up a notch. So you'd think we're going to put the well down on the southeast side. No, we could put the well on the northwest side. We want to get the water into the system. But then we're also going to need to treat it. We have a very substantial treatment facility on the west side, so that's good. But we don't have a tower that we would put in, except probably down in the southeast side. That's probably where we would put it. And then try to offset that pressure issue, which is a function, again, of the altitude or the depth or whatever the considerations are, which will be in play. So all this stuff is, now it's just the city manager telling us we need people who know what they're talking about to do this, and Becker and Woodman are those people. We recommend this water modeling study, and as soon as possible to get going on this and be ready.
Council, questions? Alderman Walker.
Well, not a question. I actually knew what you were talking about because I went out with Mr. Faber one day and asked him like 8 million questions, and I felt good because I understood what he was talking about. So appreciate it, but I definitely support this.
Yeah. Alderman Perkins.
So in terms of length of this, it's going to take a year and a half, and in terms of scope, it's a six-figure proposal, right? All in all, 150 grand-ish?
It is.
So will it come back before us at some point as a
Yes.
consideration for an update on where we are and the progress
Absolutely.
of this, or what do you anticipate for that type of timeline?
So
or in those
we'll want to
elements?
see, I think you don't want to see like the early discussion. You want to see, well, where are we and what's this going to look
Right.
like? Well, as soon as we get that information, I think the sooner the better, obviously. We're interested that we could think around our own path here, but the world around us is telling us you should be on a fast track and you should be getting this. As soon as, without diminishing the quality of the review. So year to year and a half, say, and we'll be back before you and we'll say, here's what we've got. And here are some options that they've come up with. I'm almost certain they won't be one, unless there's some overwhelming data that they have identifying where the well safe should go, or whether we need one treatment plan or two or whatever it is. And I think, towers, that's the aircraft carrier. You don't build a lot of those. You do it, and you try to do it. You need to be prescient about it. You need to look ahead, 10, 20 years and see where the best place is. Because 10 years from now, you don't want to think, oh, geez, I can't believe it. We should have put it over here. So,
But I guess more specifically, what are we thinking? We'll get an update in 3 months, 6 months on progress of the project? Just high level, not the intimate details, but on the direction of where it's going.
Whenever you want, I would say 3 months is too little. They'll probably get cranked up, before the holidays to get going, and then.
Sure.
I would say that'd be a good spring conversation to have. Is that
Okay.
too?
Because then if it looks like a tower is definitely in the future, it'd be nice to start getting our head around that.
Yeah.
So we know in
Right.
2026, we got to build this
Now,
thing.
the good
and-
thing is that we don't have to beggar or impoverish our ratepayers, all of us who pay for the city water, to get this done. We've been very prudent. We have a reserve. We've been spending money as we go every year. As you know, we've been through that, and again this year. We'll talk about it in the budget process. So there's been an increase every year for the last 5 years, not 10%, a couple percent, and then this year it was 3.5%, but then the interest, just the rate of inflation was twice that when we made that decision in the spring. So in other respects, we're not going to stop doing repair in order to build the new. We should be able to do them both at the same time, and I think that's something we have to do.
But I agree, it'd be nice in 6 months, you're right, just a,
Yeah.
hey, this is what we're
Just
kind of
to check
looking
in,
at.
where,
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
where we at on it, because I think it's a great idea to do this strategic work, to stay out front of it, and make sure that
Agreed.
we're advancing as we need to.
Yeah, because with all the economic development going on, the last thing we want is the city of DeKalb is holding things up, yeah.
Right.
Anecdotally, and this is a sidebar, the new bus facility, transit facility, that's another one we want to, it was tentatively scheduled for the next meeting. It's probably going to be 2 meetings before we get, but we're going to have something for you to look at.
Perfect.
Any, yes, Alderwoman Zada.
Yeah, I absolutely appreciate you guys bringing this ahead of the game, and I think societally, water is a huge concern right now. So I think making sure, just want to, appreciate the water department and Mr. Favor for bringing this to our attention and getting the ball rolling.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Walker,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-098 passes. Number 5, Resolution 2023-099, authorizing a purchase agreement with Alexander Company for the purchase of chlorine for a period of 1 year from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 for the purpose of treating the city's drinking water. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman McAdams. City Manager.
This begins a cascade, no pun intended, of contracts affecting our drinking water. This one's for chlorine, and it's only for 1 year, although we were looking for more than a year, but this is the best we could get in bids. We're just coming out of that price flipping in the last year, and both buyers and sellers are still a little skittish. But we did get a lower bid, and thanks really to the council for last year not extending into multiple years at a price which we thought would come down, and you were right. So there's some savings. It's not a big number, but it's better than paying more. So we recommend the contract that's proposed here with Alexander Company for the chlorine for a year, and hopefully, knock on wood, we get to this time next year, we'll be able to look at a multi-year contract on the chlorine side. And that's what's before you tonight.
Any questions, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-099 passes. Number 6, Resolution 2023-100, authorizing a purchase agreement with Water Solutions Unlimited for the purchase of fluoride for a period of 1 year from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 for the purpose of treating the city's drinking water. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Perkins, seconded by Alderman Walker. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. This concerns fluoride. We do fluoridate our water, and we don't want to get into a debate tonight as to whether that's good or not. I thought that was settled a couple decades ago, but it may not be. But in any case, once again, this is a 1 year, but we did ask, as you can see by the bid tab here, for more than 1 year, at least 2 years, and we didn't get any takers on the 2 year. But Water Solutions Unlimited gave a significantly lower bid, and so we're recommending their bid for the next year. There's some savings there.
Surprised the dental industry isn't here protesting this resolution. Any comments, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-100 passes. Number 7, Resolution 2023-101, authorizing a purchase agreement with Caras Corporation for the purchase of phosphate for a period of 2 years from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025, for the purpose of treating the city's drinking water. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman McAdams. City Manager.
Thank you. We did better on this bidding in terms of the time. We did get some takers for a 2-year term that would result in some savings. So what we've recommended before you tonight is a 2-year contract with Karis Corporation for the purchase of phosphate for our water system.
Council, comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-101 passes. Number 8, Resolution 2023-102, authorizing a purchase agreement with Midwest Salt Company for the purchase of water conditioning bulk softener salt for a period of 1 year from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 for the purpose of treating the city's drinking water. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbic, seconded by Alderman Walker. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. This one, we got a very clear bid, but we're going to have to pay a little bit more. Last year, you may remember of all of these additives, the salt seemed to be the one that was accelerating the fastest and the highest in terms of annual increase. We only got 2 bids. Midwest Salt was the lowest of those 2 bids, and neither of the bidders were interested in a 2-year term in terms of price per ton. But Midwest Salt, a contract with Midwest Salt will still result in more per ton and an increase of about $5,700 annually. But I think this is the best we're going to do. We spread the net. We only got 2 bidders. And last year, I think we only had 1. Was that Midwest Salt last year? 2. Same 2. Okay, we had 2.
Any other comments, questions, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-102 passes. Number 9, Resolution 2023-103, authorizing a Strong Communities Program grant from the Illinois Housing Development Authority in the amount of $109,000. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Verbic. City Manager.
This program, as you know, has helped us remove some very distressed buildings and properties that have been condemned, either abandoned by their owners, maybe repossessed, maybe there's a distant financial institution that this ends up on an asset list, but no particular interest or sometimes just no particular knowledge of the condition. But the neighbors see the condition every day. The Strong Communities Program has allowed us to demolish the properties. We, thanks to our city attorney, usually go in and get a deed in lieu of foreclosure, and then we sell it again to somebody who builds a new house and all as well. That takes a little time, of course. This program announced that there was more money available. I want to thank Jennifer Yoakum for pursuing that. We got a grant before us of $109,000. If you approve this resolution, we'll be able to secure that grant and help with probably 3, maybe even 4 demolitions over the winter or into 2024. But we recommend this to you.
That's great. Comments or questions, council? Love this program. It's nice taking some of these properties offline. Roll call, please.
McAdams,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2023-103 passes. Agenda item K, ordinances, second reading, we have none. Agenda item L, ordinances, first reading. Finally, Wessels, we're there. So number 1, ordinance 2023-047, authorizing an annexation agreement with Robert Wessels for the property located at 2023 Sycamore Road. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Move by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Larson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. The Rob and Terry Wessel are in the audience tonight, and Tom Doherty, who's been representing them at some of our meetings, is also here tonight, and they're available to answer any questions you may have about their project. I also want to thank Dan Olson for his involvement along the way here and helping to point up some ways to provide help the Wessels provide a product that is going to fit, is going to be appreciated, but also allow them to kind of grow into more expensive features as time goes along. So, you know, by looking at the background is kind of repeated 2 or 3 times in this document that's before you tonight. But this is a little over a ½ acre parcel. It's right at the corner of Sycamore Road and Greenwood Acres Drive. The Wessels have, they leased this for a while, and they are the owners. They have brought new life to a building that was mostly vacant except for a couple times some seasonal sales in the course of a year. What they're hoping to do is to have sales year-round. They're hoping to use just a portion of this facility. This doesn't have, it's not finished inside like a lot of commercial buildings are. It was never set up for that. Its purpose is to sell agricultural products. You've seen the produce out there for some years now. Includes fresh farm produce, some plants at different times of the year. The Christmas trees, right now you can get your pumpkins there, and some other things. It's enjoyed. I have to say, for myself, it's a very pleasant site when I go by there now. It's well kept. They put a lot of time and effort and money into this just to get it to this point. They did improvements on the exterior, the roof, the walls. When the question of how to sell from the inside came up, this is in the county. The county was not able to go far in helping them with this, and we, in fact, they actually encouraged that the Wessels come to us, and we embraced the idea of annexing them so they could continue and expand what they're trying to do. There were some conditions as we're going along here, kind of grow together and grow into the future. Neighbor to the west, I guess it is, it's kind of turned around there, but would prefer a privacy fence, so they've agreed to a 6-foot privacy fence. There currently is no water sanitary service to the property. Obviously, from our end, we had talked about the potential water service sometime down the road. The Kishwaukee Water Reclamation District was involved in these discussions, and we thought, well, I guess my mind goes to a conversation we had maybe the week leading up to the Sandwich Fair. And it occurred to us that while we were talking about, geez, how can we get the water and sewer, which might be $20,000, $30,000, I don't know what it was going to be. It was going to be a big price, tearing up the road and so forth. It occurred to us that there would be thousands of people walking all around that little plot in Sandwich for the next 3 or 4 days, taking advantage of porta potties and hand wash stations and so forth, and nobody was shutting them down. It's a big county deal. It's the county fair. So we thought, why not help these folks get going? And that was the premise that got us past, well, you got to do this, and this. So we're at a point, I think, in the middle, which makes some sense. And the Plan Commission thought it made sense and unanimously supported this, and we recommend that you support the Plan Commission request.
Council, comments or questions? Well, I've been driving by that building for longer than I can remember. And to see how beautiful it looks now, the new roof and the new siding, I think it's just absolutely wonderful, and it really helps spruce up that corner. So just, I think on behalf of council and city staff, really appreciate the investment you're making in our community. I love going there for my mums and pumpkins and all that. Yes, Alderwoman Larson.
Well, I've known Rob and Terry for a few years. I won't say how long. And we couldn't have better people to come and be part of DeKalb.
Yeah, 100%. So it's just beautiful what you have created in the transformation of that corner, and really look forward to see the continued investment we're talking about, and that I'm sure we'll see with that building and that property. So, you bet. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Alderwoman Zada.
Just want to thank the city for coming up with some creative solutions to make this come together faster for you all. I think that was excellent. Appreciate it.
All right, seeing no others, and we've got a few of these just back to back. I'm going to ask for a waiving of second reading, just because I think it was unanimously approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission. So we'll kind of crank through these pretty quick, I bet. Point of order.
Sorry. We were just wondering, if you wanted to take this in omnibus fashion, we're just past that point. We could back.
It's only three. We'll crank through it.
Yeah, just
We'll
crank.
just do it that way.
Okay.
All right, so roll call, please.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2023-047 passes on first reading. Take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Perkins, seconded by Alderman Walker. Questions, comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2023-047. Number two, ordinance 2023-048, approving the annexation of certain property located at 2023 Sycamore Road, Robert Wessels. Take a motion to approve, or motion to bring it to the floor.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Walker. Any further comments, City Manager?
No.
Then I would take a roll call, please.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2023-048 passes on first reading. I would take a motion to waive second.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Walker. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2023-048. Number three, ordinance 2023-049, approving the zoning petition of Robert Wessels to rezone certain property located at 2023 Sycamore Road to the PDC Planned Development Commercial District, and to approve a concept plan to allow for the continued use of a farmer's market and accessory uses. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Perkins, seconded by Alderman Verbic. City Manager, hearing
Real
none.
quick, just real
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I have to, I don't mean to slow the roll.
No,
but
that's fine, that's
just to note that the details to the general conditions that I laid out before are part of this action, and you seem to be as much in support of that. This comes to you from the Plan Commission specifically, this rezoning, and we recommend that you support the commission, which said 7-0 that this is a great idea.
Thank you for that. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2023-049 passes on first reading. I would take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Boy, we're really in a rhythm here, same. I heard a motion by Alderwoman Zazada and a second by Alderman Walker. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Sisata,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2023-049. Wessels, you are good to go. Again, thank you very much for your continued investment in DeKalb. No need to stay. You all can go about. I'm sure you're busy and got a lot to do, especially on that building. So have a great night, everyone. All right, moving on to number four, ordinance 2023-050, amending Chapter 23 Unified Development Ordinance, Article 13, signs as it pertains to electronic, changeable, copy signs, and wall signs. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. There are two pieces to this. We'll take them one at a time. The first one has to do with the changeable copy ground signs in the Central Business District. And the request came from the Foursquare Church at Grove and South 2nd Street. There is a standing sign or a ground sign there now. You have to go out and manually change the type that's in there and so forth. And the folks at the church said, but is there some way we can do this digitally? Made a lot of sense. It's in basically the same space. But then that got us thinking, since it's not allowed in this kind of electronic changeable copy in the CBD, what do we do? One rule would sort of serve all. And I want to thank Dan Olson for coming up with this proposal that the Plan Commission embraced. The idea here is not to allow that kind of signage, really isn't good space for that along the East Lincoln Highway corridor. We just put a lot of money into creating wider sidewalks and so forth, plunking permanent signs down. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But outside of that, it seemed reasonable. And there are other places like the Foursquare property where that could happen. Not a lot, less than a handful really. So that's part one. Part two has to do with signage on the extraordinarily large buildings that we have growing in our community, mostly on the south side. And can you see where it says Kraft Heinz on that building?
Exactly.
So that's the allowable, and we're not.
So cute.
Yeah, if this is on your home computer, we don't have to enlarge it greatly to show what we want to go to. It's not going to be outlandish. It's really what we're asking for is an increase to the size that we allowed for some commercial properties behind, say, Panera and is that Northland Plaza?
Yeah.
Dan? Yeah. To be able to show that they're there to people driving up and down Sycamore Road. And now these are even bigger buildings, so they will not be outsized. And that new, rather than 1.5 square feet for the size of the length of the frontage, we went to 2 square feet, and that is what's before you, those two, and the Plan Commission liked it. We strongly support this at the staff level.
And that, you might have said it just to make it proportional. That looks weird on the
Yeah.
building. We want it to be representative of the size. Yeah, okay. Comments or questions, council? Hearing none, then roll call, please.
McAdams?
Yes.
Verbic?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Zasada?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Barnes?
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2023-050 passes on first reading. I would take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Walker. Any other comments or questions on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Verbic?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Zasada?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Perkins?
Yes.
McAdams?
Yes.
Mayor Barnes?
Yes.
8 ayes.
All right, ordinance, or second reading has been waived for ordinance 2023-050. Number 5, ordinance 2023-051, amending the fiscal year end, December 31st, 2023 budget. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Perkins, seconded by Alderman Burbick. City Manager. There
Mayor. Couple minor budget amendments this is the current year budget. There is no net change as a result of what's proposed here in Fund 210, which is our motor fuel tax fund. This is serving as a pass-through for money coming in from the state and then going out again in the same year for the bridge projects. I want to talk about that. The other one is for Fund 400, Capital Projects Fund, the big general capital fund that we use for some of our larger projects. There's a net change of it's a reduction in the overall balance of $8,419. It's because we got money in from one of the private companies that was contributing to the signalization of the intersection of Gurler and 23, and a little more went out in this last exchange, obviously a lot more was spent than $8,400, but in this current state, this is where we are. That job is basically closed out now, and that was the difference. We have to update the funds so that well, it's basically, the staff can't just do this on our own, so we bring this to you to do. And rather than wait till the end of the year, the city engineer would like to close this out and be done with it.
Yeah, that project's been going on
Yeah.
forever. Questions or comments, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Walker,
Yes.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2023-051 passes on first reading. Take a motion to waive second.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McAdams, seconded by Alderman Walker. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Zasada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Perkins,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2023-051. Agenda item M, reports and communications. Number 1, council member reports. Who'd like to go first? Alderman Perkins.
No report.
Alderwoman Larson.
I just attended the ribbon cutting for the mosaic that's on the back of City Hall, and I hope everyone goes out to see it. It's fabulous, and we had a great turnout, and the rain held off, so it was a great afternoon.
Absolutely. Alderwoman Zazada.
We also had the ribbon cutting for the new solar farm, which was super exciting. It was really fun to learn more about exactly how it works, and I definitely picked their brains for how we could get more solar and learned more about what the slowdown is. So, I know that that's a big concern for a lot of people in the community. That's all.
Alderman Smith.
No report.
Alderman McAdams.
No report.
Alderman Walker.
Yeah, just looking forward to Halloween, but I would like the public to understand, let's slow down for these kids and these people out, trick or treating. In the 7th Ward, we had a lot of speeders, a couple kids almost getting hit, so definitely Alderman Walker will be out with the dog walking and making sure there's no speeders in the neighborhood, but that's it.
Love it. Good call out. Alderman Verbeck.
No report.
For me, yes, I think Alderwoman Zazada and Alderwoman Larson and myself, were you at the mural ribbon cutting?
It was not at that one, no.
Okay.
It was at the solar one.
Yeah, there was, it was really cool just to see that mural. If you haven't gone behind City Hall at this point, you have to. It is absolutely staggering. And talk about, a community coming together and co-creating a mural. There was over 200 volunteers, I think it was, that actually put that thing together. And there was a core of, what was it, like 5, 6 women, I think she was calling out, that really made it happen and got it done before the end of the year. The dedication was just phenomenal to see, and the end result is great. So I really hope there's future support for large art projects in the community from council, because the result and the feedback I've gotten has been phenomenal. Alderwoman Zazada talked about the Sunvest solar ribbon cutting. That was great to go to. It's just neat to see a community solar project like that for those that either don't have the ability to do solar on their homes, or just want to continue to invest in that particular technology and receive some benefit from it. It's really neat that we have these community solar projects that allow everyone to participate in the community. City Manager Nicholas and I also met with our monthly meeting with the NIU leadership team, just making sure that we circle around together and keep on the same page. And if I recall, homecoming was between the last council meeting and this, right? Yeah, so homecoming, I saw many of our alder people there and city staff, but that was pretty darn incredible. Downtown was packed. The marching band was amazing. The new dedication of Victory statue is just awesome. So it's just another way that parents and students are going to want to come downtown during graduations and homecomings and all that in order to get a picture with Victor E., which is awesome. But then also just us, and I appreciate City Council allowing us to close First to 4th Street. Having downtown available, the restaurants were packed, and I really see year after year Northern's committed to continuing to have the homecoming, and I know we are, so it's going to be cool to see that grow and further put that stamp of this is Husky Nation here. We are a college town, and this is one way to make that happen. I'm really looking forward to doing it where they start at the lagoon and head down Lincoln Highway and end downtown DeKalb. So that's the goal for next year, which is great. Also went to the Athena Awards. That, I tell you, I know we're all committed and we all work really hard. But you go to an award ceremony like the Athena Awards, and you hear what all those women are doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm sitting there going, God, I got to dial up my game. Because the bar for all of them is just so high, and it's up here. It really is just inspirational. Every year I go to that event, and it was at the Egyptian Theater for the first time this year, and it's just wonderful hearing the stories of all of them and what they've been able to accomplish. So next year I would highly recommend putting it on everyone's agenda to go to the Athena Awards celebration. And then also Friday, there was a Veterans Memorial rededication at the Elks Club, which Alderman Perkins was there. It was really cool. They have a women's veteran memorial now, that there was a dedication for that, which was great. A new fire pit put together by an Eagle Scout with Troop 33 that's there as well for roasting s'mores and all that. But that mural, or not that memorial, is just absolutely beautiful. Plus, we had the 40 and 8 there rededicating that we won in Illinois, the most veteran-friendly city in the state of Illinois, as well as the national honor that we are the most veteran-friendly city in the nation. So it was overall just an absolutely wonderful event to go to. So yeah, how about you, City Manager?
Two quick things. One, thank you for your support of what was on the agenda tonight. It was a busy document, but and a lot of good stuff for the city of DeKalb. But mostly what I want to do is draw your attention to something I put at your place tonight. It says Community Service Program Quarterly Report. This is actually the third quarter report from the Barb Food Mart, which has been leading the way in terms of local not-for-profits and providing community service opportunities for youth who have come before our administrative hearing process. And this, if you study it, they've had 8 participants so far. It doesn't seem like a lot, but Joey Moore, in behalf of the Food Mart, has been putting, and her staff have been putting a lot of time into this. It isn't just somebody shows up, you clock them in and clock them out, and they go. A lot of mentoring going on, and as you read through this and just read the back of this, you can see the story, which is only briefly told here, but all the participants in the last quarter were DeKalb youth. They together put in about 98 hours. That had to do with what was defined as necessary to complete that process by the administrative hearing judge. 4 of them returned as volunteers to the Food Mart.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there are other youth that are not part of any court-ordered service requirement, but who have been going there and helping out, including children of many of the adults that go there to help provide for their families. So she's Joey Moore. I take my hat off to her. She's been really put a lot of effort into this, try to model what we'd like to see in the way of parental responsibility, and I think this is a good start. So we'll hopefully she's offered to do a quarterly report to us, and as we get more involved, we'll have reports from them as well too.
That's awesome. All right. Hearing nothing else, at this point, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Oh, we don't want to leave.
Second.
All right, moved by Alderman Verbeek, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays, same sign. We are adjourned.